Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Mayank Kulshrestha, working as a senior assistant professor in BBD University, Lucknow. Today, I am going to discuss the digestive system, which is a part of the subject remedial biology. The paper code is BP106 RBT for B Form first year, first sem. So, we are going to discuss digestive system. The food we eat contain a variety of nutrients which are used for the building new body tissues and repairing damaged tissues. Food is also vital for life because it is our only source of chemical energy. However, most of the food we eat consists of molecules that are too large to be used by body cells. Therefore, food must be broken down into the molecules that are small enough to enter body cell. This process is called digestion. The organs involved in the breakdown of food are collectively known as the digestive system. The medical specialty that deals with the structure, function, diagnosis, and treatment of disease of the stomach and intestine is called gastroenterology. Gastroenterology. If we break the word gastroenterology, it becomes gastro means stomach, entero means intestine, and logy means study, means the study of stomach and intestine. The medicine is the medical specialist that deals with the diagnosis and treatment of disorder of the rectum of anus is called proctology. Proctology. So this is the basic about the digestive system. The content of presentation is human alimentary canal and digestive glands, the role of digestive enzymes in the digestion process, and the digestion, absorption, assimilation of the digestive food. So basically we are going to discuss the anatomy and physiology of digestive system. This is the basic diagram of digestive system. You can clearly see the every part of the diagram. Here you can clearly see the different parts like stomach, like liver, like gallbladder, like pylorus is part of stomach, like esophagus, like mouth, like lungs, like cardia, like diaphragm, like spleen, like splenic factor, different part of large intestine and small intestine, ileum, rectum, colon, like these are the different part of digestive system. So, two groups of organs compose the digestive system. First one, gastrointestinal tract and the accessory digestive organs. The gastrointestinal tract or GIT tract, which is also known as alimentary canal, is a continuous tube that extends from the mouth to the anus. Organs of GIT tract include the mouth, most of the pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and large intestine. The length of the GIT tract taken from a cadaver is about 9 meter or 30 feet. In a living person, it is much shorter because the muscles along the wall of GIT organs are in a state of tonus. The accessory digestive organ include the teeth, tongue, salivary glands, liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. Teeth aid in the physical breakdown of food, and the tongue assists in chewing and swallowing. The other accessory digestive organs, however, never come into the direct contact with the food. They produce or store secretion that flow into the GI tract through ducts. The secretion aid in the chemical breakdown of food. So this is the basic anatomy of digestive system. Although digestive system has a different part. Now we are some focus about the layer of GIT tract. The wall of GIT tract from the lower esophagus to the anal canal has the same basic four layer arrangement of tissue. So there are basically four layer of GIT tract. The four layer of the GIT tract from deep to superficial are the mucosa, submucosa, muscularis, and serosa. Mucosa or inner lining of the GIT tract is a mucous membrane. It is composed of a layer of epithelium, second a layer of connective tissue which is called lamina propria, and thin layer of smooth muscles. The epithelium in the mouth, pharynx, esophagus, and anal canal is mainly stratified squamous epithelium that serve a protective function. Simple columnar epithelium, which function in secretion and absorption, lines the stomach and intestine. The lamina propria is a areolar connective tissue containing many foods and lymphatic vessels, which are the route by which nutrient absorbed into the GIT tract reach the other tissue of the body. A thin layer of smooth muscles called muscularis mucosa shows the mucous membrane of the stomach and the small intestine into many small folds, which increase the surface area for digestion and absorption. Movement of muscularis mucosa ensure that the all absorption cells that are fully exposed to the supernatant of GIT tract. Now, submucosa. Submucosa consists of a alveolar connective tissue that bind the mucosa to the muscularis. It contains many blood and lymphatic vessels that receive absorbed food molecules. Also located in the submucosa is an extensive network of neurons known as submucosal pleurates. The submucosa may also contain glands and lymphatic tissues. Muscularis, the third layer of stomach. The muscularis of the mouth, pharynx, and superior and the middle part of esophagus contain skeleton muscles that produces voluntary swallowing. Skeleton muscles also form the external anal sphincter, which permit voluntary control of defecation. Throughout the rest of the tract, the muscularis consists of smooth muscles that is generally found in the two sheets, an inner sheet of circular fiber and outer sheet of longitudinal fiber. Involuntary contraction of the smooth muscles help break down food, mix it with digestion secretion, and propel it along with the tract. Between the layer of muscularis is a second pleurax of the neurons, the mesenteric pleurax. Now, the fourth and last layer, this is serosa. The portion of GIT tract that are suspended in the abdomen pelvic cavity has a superficial layer called the serosa. As its name implies, the serosa is a serous membrane composed of alveolar connective tissue and simple squamous epithelium. The serosa is also called visceral peritoneum because it forms a portion of peritoneum which we examine in detail shortly. The esophagus lacks a serosa, instead only a single layer of alveolar connective tissue called the adventitia forms the superficial layer of an organ. Now we are going on the different part of respiratory system. First one is mouth. The mouth is also referred to as oral and buccal cavity is formed by the cheeks, hard and soft palates and tongues. The cheeks forms the lateral wall of the oral cavity. They are covered externally by the skin and internally by the mucous membrane, which consists of stratified squamous epithelium. Buccirator muscles and connective tissue lie between the skin and mucous membrane of the cheeks, the anterior portion of the cheeks, and at the lips. The lips or labia are the freshly fold surrounding the opening of mouth. They contain the orbicularis oris muscles and are covered externally by skin and internally by a mucous membrane. The inner surface of each lips is attached to its corresponding gum by a midline fold of mucous membrane called the labial frenulum. During chewing or contraction of the buccinator muscles in the cheeks and orbicularis oris muscle in the lips help keep food between the upper and lower teeth. These muscles also assist in speech. Now, tongue. The tongue is an accessory digestive organ composed of skeleton muscles covered with mucous membrane. Together with its associated muscle, it forms the floor of the oral cavity. The tongue is divided into symmetrical lateral hallways by the median septum that extend in entire length, and it is attached inferiorly to the hyoid bone, styloid process of the temporal bone, and the mandible. Each of the tongue consists of an identical complement of extrinsic and intrinsic muscles. Now, teeth. The teeth, which is also called dentists, are accessory digestive organ located in the sockets of the alveolar processes of the mandible and maxillary. The alveolar processes are covered by the gingival or gums, which extend slightly into each socket. The sockets are lined by a simple membrane which consists of dense fibrous connective tissue that anchors the teeth to the socket walls. The typically tooth has three major external regions: the crown, root, neck. The crown is the visible portion above the level of the gums embedded in the socket that are one of three roots. The neck is the concentric journal of the crown and root near the gum line. Internally, dentine forms the majority of the tooth. Dentine consists of a calcified connective tissue that gives the tooth its basic shape and rigidity. It is harder than bone because of its higher content of calcium salts. The dentine of the crown is covered by the enamel, which consists primarily of the calcium phosphate and calcium carbonate. Enamel is also harder than bone because of its higher content of calcium salts. It is near about 95% of dry weight. In fact, enamel is the hardest substance in the body. It serves to protect the tooth from the wear and tear of chewing. It also protects against acids that can easily dissolve dentine. The dentine of the root is covered by cementum, another bone-like structure which attaches the root to the periodontal ligament. Now we are discussing about the stomach. The stomach is a J-shaped enlargement of the GIT tract directly inferior to the diaphragm in the epigastric, umbilical and left hypochondric region of the abdomen. The stomach connects the esophagus to the duodenum, the first part of the small intestine. Because a meal can be eaten much more quickly than the intestine can digest and absorb it. One of the functions of stomach is to serve as a mixing chamber and holding reservoir. At appropriate interval after food is ingested, the stomach forces a small quantity of material into the first portion of the small intestine. The position and size of the stomach vary continuously. The diaphragm pushes it inferiorly with each inhalation and pulls it superiorly with each exhalation. Empty, it is about the size of the large gorges, but it is the most distasteful part of the GIT tract and can accommodate a large quantity of food. In the stomach, digestion of starch continuous, digestion of protein triglyceride begins. The semi-solid bolus is converted to a liquid and certain substances are absorbed. The stomach has a four main reasons: the cardia, the fundus, the body, the pylorus. These are the basic part of the stomach. Now we are moving on the function of human digestive system. As clearly shown in the figure, you can clearly see that each different part has different function. Now I'm going to explain about the different function of digestive system. First one is ingestion, means taking food into the mouth. Secretion, release of water, acid buffer and enzymes into the lumen of GIT tract. Mixing and propulsion, chewing and propulsion of the food into the GIT tract. Digestion, mechanical and chemical breakdown of food. Absorption, passes of digestive product from the GIT tract into the blood and lymph. Defecation, the elimination of the feces from the GIT tract. So these are the basic and simple function of digestive system. Here this image is clearly seen the different part of digestive system which contain with their respective function. The overall the digestive system perform the six basic processes. First one is ingestion. Ingestion means the process involving taking food and liquid into the mouth. The process involve taking food and liquid into the mouth, which is called eating. Second one is secretion. Each day, cells within the walls of the GIT tract and accessory digestive organ secrete about a total about 7 liter of water, acid, buffer and enzymes into the lumen of the tract. Third one, mixing and propulsion. Alternatively, contraction and relaxation of smooth muscles in the wall of GIT tract mix food and secretion and propel them toward the anus. The capability of the GIT tract to mix and move material along its length is called motility. Fourth one, digestion. Mechanical and chemical process break down ingested food into the smooth small molecules. In mechanical digestion, the teeth cut and grind food before it's swallowed, and then smooth muscles of the stomach in the small intestine churn the food. As a result, food molecules become dissolved and thoroughly mixed with digestive enzymes. In chemical digestion, the large carbohydrate, lipid, protein, and nucleic acid molecule in food are split into small molecules by hydrolysis. Digestive enzymes produced by the salivary gland, tongue, stomach, pancreas, and small intestine catalyze the catabolic reaction. A few substances in the food can be absorbed without chemical digestion. These include vitamins, ions, cholesterol, and water. The fifth main function is absorption. The entrance of ingested and secreted fluid, ions, and the product of digestion into the epithelial cells lining of the lumen of GIT tract is called absorption. The absorbed substance pass into the blood or lymph and circulate to cells throughout the body. Defecation. Waste is indigestible substance, bacteria, cells sloughed from the lining of the GIT tract and digestive materials that were not absorbed in their journey through the digestive tract leave the body through the anus is a process called defecation. The eliminated material is termed as feces. Now we are moving on the digestive glands. Digestive glands play a very important role in digestion, which is start from the salivary glands. Each glands have their different respected enzymes which play the important role in the process of digestion either directly either indirectly. So we are going to start with the salivary glands. The salivary glands is a gland that releases a secretion called saliva into the oral cavity. Just enough saliva is secreted to keep the mucous membrane of the mouth and pharynx moist and to cleanse the mouth and teeth. When food enters the mouth, however, secretion of saliva increases and it lubricates, dissolve and begin the chemical breakdown of the food. The mucous membrane of the mouth and tongue contain a very small salivary glands that open directly or indirectly by a short duct to the oral cavity. These glands include labial, buccal, palatal glands in the lips, cheeks and palate respectively, and lingual glands in the tongue of the which make a small contribution of the saliva. Saliva chemically 99.5% water and 0.5% solute. Among the solute are ions including sodium, potassium, chloride, bicarbonate, phosphate. Also present are some dissolved gases and various organic substances including urea and uric acid. Mucus, immunoglobulin, bacteriolytic enzyme, lysozyme, and salivary amylase, which is a digestive enzyme that act on starch. So, this is the basic about the salivary glands. Now, we are discussing about the liver. The liver is the heaviest gland of the body, weight about 1.4 kg, about 3 lb in average adult. Of all the organs of the body, it is second only to the skin in size. Second only to the skin in size. The liver is inferior to the diaphragm and occupy most of the right hypochondric and part of epigastric region of the cavity. The gallbladder is a pear-shaped sac that is located in the depression of the posterior surface of the liver. It is 7 to 10 centimeter long and typically hangs from the anterior inferior margin of the liver. So these are the basic of liver and gallbladder. Now, function of liver. Liver helpful in the carbohydrate metabolism. lipid metabolism, protein metabolism, process of drugs and hormones, excretion of bilirubin, synthesis of bile salt, storage, phagocytosis, and activation of vitamin D. So these are the basic functions of liver. Now, small intestine. The major event of the digestion absorption occur in the long tube called small intestine. Because the most digestion absorption of nutrient occur in the small intestine, its structure is specially adapted for these functions. Its length along with provide a large surface area for digestion and absorption. That area is further increased by circular folds, villi and microvilli. So these are the something about the small intestine. The function of small intestine include the segmentation mix chyme and digestive juice and bring food into the connective with the mucosa for absorption. The second one that completes the digestion of carbohydrate, protein and lipids, begin and complete the digestion of nucleic acid, absorb about 90% of nutrient and water that pass through the digestive system. So these are the basic function of the intestine, small intestine, gallbladder, liver, which is also called the basic or backbone of the digestive system. This is all about the digestive glands. Now we are going to discuss the process of digestion. Okay. First one we are discuss about the mechanical and chemical digestion in the mouth. Mechanical digestion in the mouth result from the chewing or mastication in which food is manipulated by the tongue, ground by the teeth and mixed with the saliva. As a result, the food is reduced to a soft, flexible, easily solid mass called a bolus. Food molecule begin to dissolve in the water in saliva, an important activity because an enzyme can interact with food molecule in a liquid medium only. So these about the mechanical digestion in the mouth. Now mechanical digestion in the stomach, it is one of the important part of the digestive system. Several minutes after food enter the stomach, gentile ripening peristaltic movement called mixing waves pass over the stomach every 15 to 25 seconds. These waves macerate food, mix it with the secretion of the gastric gland and reduce it to a salty liquid called chyme. Few mixing waves are observed in the fundus, which primarily has a storage function. As a digestion proceeds in the stomach, more vigorous mixing waves begin at the body of the stomach and intensify as they reach the pylorus. The pyloric sphincter normally remain almost but not completely closed. As a food reaches the pylorus, can each mixing waves periodically force about 3 ml of chyme into the duodenum through the pyloric sphincter. The phenomena is called gastric emptying. Most of the chyme is forced back into the body of the stomach when mixing continue. Now, the chemical digestion in the small intestine. The two type of movement of the small intestine, segmentation and the type of peristalsis called migrating motility complexes, are governed mainly by the mesenteric plexus. Segmentation are localized mixing contraction that occur in the portion of intestine distended by a large volume of chyme. Segmentation mix chyme with the digestive juice and bring the particle of food into contact with the mucosa for absorption. They don't push the intestinal content along the tract. A segmentation starts with the contraction of circular muscles fiber in a portion of small intestine, an action that constrict the intestine into segment. That is the mechanical digestion in the small intestine. Now, chemical digestion in the large intestine. The final stage of digestion occur in the colon through the activity of bacteria that inhibit the lumen. Mucus is secreted by the glands of the large intestine, but no enzymes are secreted. Chyme is prepared for elimination by the action of bacteria, which ferment any remaining carbohydrate and release hydrogen, carbon dioxide, and methane gas. These gases contribute to colon. The term flatulence, which it is excessive. Bacteria also convert any remaining protein to amino acid and break down the amino acid into the simpler substance like indole, hydrogen sulfide, and fatty acid. Some of the indole is eliminated in the feces and contribute to their order. The rest of the absorbed and transported to the liver. When these compounds are converted to less toxic compound and excreted in urine. Bacteria also decompose bilirubin to simpler pigments, including sterocobalamin, which gives feces to brown color. Bacteria products that are absorbed in the colon include several vitamins needed for normal metabolism, along them some vitamin B and vitamin K. So this is all about the process of digestion. Now, role of major digestive enzyme. This is the very basic process of the, because without digestive enzyme the digestion process cannot be completed. In the saliva, salivary amylase, which is secreted by the salivary glands and which act on starch. The ligulal lipase, which is also the source is salivary glands or ligulal glands in the tongue. Now, gastric juice, pepsin, activated from pepsinogen by pepsin and hydrochloric acid, which is secreted by the stomach chief cells, gastric lipase, which is also secreted by the stomach chief cells. Now, pancreatic juice contain pancreatic amylase, trypsin, chymotrypsin, elastase, carboxypeptidase, nuclease, pancreatic lipase, ribonuclease, deoxyribonuclease. These all are the pancreatic juice secreted by the pancreatic aciniar cells. Now, brush border, which is also brush border is a group of enzyme which is also secreted by the small intestine. The brush border contain dextrinase, maltase, sucrase, lactase, enterokinase, peptidase, aminopeptidase, dipeptidase, nucleosidase, and phosphatidase. These all are the enzyme which is secreted by the small intestine. So these are the basic major digestive enzyme which act on their respective places or respective organ. So these are all about the digestive system. Digestive system. So today we have discussed about the anatomy, basically anatomy and physiology of digestive system. So the physiology of digestive system is basically the digestion. The basically the phases of digestion is the cephalic phase and the gastric phase and intestinal phase. So these are the three basic phases of digestive system. So some are the basic major hormones that control digestion like gastrin, secretin, cholecystokinin. So these are the major hormones that control the digestion. Thank you so much for listening peacefully. Thank you so much. This is all about the digestive system.